to this latest craft along in the shack with myself, Barbara Gray from Clarity. I hope that I'm early to the party, and then we'll get going. So this is a craft along connected with some really beautiful stamps and dies. We'll let our friends come in and find us first, and then we will begin. So it's good to have your company. Come on in, and I hope you don't mind that I've kind of replaced the shack session with the craft along. Grace says the sound is good. So darling Grace is in the building with you this evening if you have any questions. Of course, she's in England now, so she's over in the house and I'm up here, and it's raining again. We had a beautiful sunny day today, but once again the heavens have opened because we thought it was too much of a good thing, didn't we? So come on in, and then we'll get started. And yeah, good to have your company. We'll couple of minutes, then we'll get going. First of all, I wanted to apologize for not being here on Monday. I wasn't feeling very well at all, and but I'm much better now. Much better. I had a really angry sty on my eye as well, which really hurt, and I was just miserable. So I thought, nah, do you know what? I'm gonna take a day off. And so apologies for Monday. And then let me see. And thank you. I wanted to thank you for all the beautiful cards and gifts and flowers and messages on my birthday yesterday. That was very, very good of you. Very kind. Yeah, the house looks like a florist's. It's amazing. So, and I was going to say, so Grace and I had a chat about it because so many beautiful cards you've made and sent, so many lovely, lovely pieces of artwork, you know, which I really treasure and never throw them away. So Grace and I were talking, and I said, you know, maybe on the Clarity Matters blog on Saturday, you know, maybe Grace could take photographs of all the artwork with you, you know, if it's okay with you. And then we thought we would have a beautiful birthday gallery. So that's the Clarity Matters blog on Saturday. I think it might be really nice to see your artwork. You know, one of the things about handmade cards, of course, is it's like a gift of time, isn't it? When you make a card for somebody, it's that gift of time. Not only have you thought about them, but you've also invested your time and energy in making them a beautiful card and telling them, you know, giving them a lovely message. So, yeah, I really value handmade cards, and I'm sure we all do, don't we? So it'd be nice for Grace to make a beautiful gallery of your lovely artwork and all those gorgeous cards that have got pride of place in the house at the moment. They're really nice, really nice. And Grace says, my potato soup tastes good. I know, Susie Homemaker today. I made a lovely wholesome potato soup because Dave, he had to go into hospital this morning. So it's been a bit of a week for that. And yesterday I went into hospital because of my chest, you know, from last year. So that was how I spent my afternoon. But it's all right. Doctor said I've got the all clear, although we thought there was something not right. But it's fine, which is really good news. And then this morning, Dave had to go in to hospital to have a little mini surgery on his knee because he's been having a lot of trouble with his knee. So that was today. Yeah, so, you know, I think you just get to a certain age and you just start falling apart, basically, don't you? I remember my mum always said, you know, the day you get your head together, your ass falls apart. About right, really. Now say that with a strong German accent. Oh, a lovely cup of tea, Grace. Thank you so much. So let's have a look. It's 7 o'clock. Are we ready to rock and roll? Come on then. So let me get everything right. First of all, apologies for Monday. Secondly, many thanks for the beautiful cards. Thirdly, you will go to the ball, and there will be a beautiful Clarity Matters blog of all your lovely cards and gifts on Saturday. So look out for that. And other than that, what else did I want to tell you? Oh yeah. So Barb's birthday bash. I'm sure you've seen it, and Grace will tell you if you haven't. There's 25% sale on with a discount code BARB25, plus your discount, plus your club discount as well. So, you know, that's something to consider, and that runs till Sunday as well. That's on our website. So that's my little gesture, my gesture of appreciation, or ours. I just had the idea, and then of course I handed the work over to everybody at work. But there you go. So much appreciate the orders as well. But there's 25% off. So if you had anything on your wish list that you fancied, anything at all, then now's a good time. Other than that, what else must I remember to tell you? Because I'm going to get all caught up in the demo in a minute and then I'll forget. Oh, yes. Saturday, Deborah Wheeler, our lovely Deborah, is on telly, and she'll be on at 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock on Create and Craft. So be sure to tune in there. And other than that, I think that's it for this week. We're going to take a bit of a... Oh, and I'm going to take a week off next week. I know otherwise I'll forget to tell you. I'm taking a week off. I just need to step back for a week. I'm running myself into the ground. I know it. And so this week we just had to say, right, I'm not going anywhere. We were going to go to Germany. I said, you know what? I would really rather just breathe, just stop, look after Dave, just hang out here at the house, do a bit of laundry, have a cup of tea, tidy up a bit. This place looks like a bomb's it. A bomb, the proverbial bomb's it, this place. So I just thought, right, I've just got to recalibrate, you know, defrag. Everybody says, you do too much, you do too much, you do too much. I know. But I'm wired that way, you know. And we hit the ground running in January, and now it's March, and now my seams are coming undone. So I just need a week, just to calm down, calm it, Kermit, and then we'll start again. Agreed? Cool. So we won't have any shack next week. E for elephant's got to wait until the following Monday, Monday the 25th. Can you live without me till then? Of course you can. Hello, Tony. Hello, everybody. 142 people in the room. Well, we better get crack-a-lacking, eh? Come on, then. Okay, so I think that's all the housekeeping out of the way. And now I will say, because now I've warmed up, welcome to the Clarity Craft Along. And so what we're going to do, this is the order of service today, my friends. Apart from a load of waffle, I'm going to show you what we used, what we're going to use today. I know that Paul and I spoke early this morning, early, and I gave him the ingredients list, things that I'm going to use, but it's very, very basic. Really, it's not that comprehensive, the list, okay? And even if you haven't got the stuff, this is recorded now, so you can look at it, you can watch this again. If you get sick of the voice, just turn the sound down, okay? But any demos that I do today, any tricks and tips, you can always go back and watch them again, which I think is a great idea, don't you? Now, let's see. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to show you the product, then I'm going to show you the beautiful art samples from our clever design team, so you get some inspiration, some ideas and inspiration from that. And then I'm going to talk through one of the demos and show you some tricks and tips with one demo. Then I'm going to show you another trick and some tips with the embedders. And then we're going to do another embedding trick, but it's an embossing trick with stamp board. Really cool. All right, that's what we're going to do. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing I want to show you is what was in the kit this time that we're going to be using this evening. Well, first of all, there was a die. This is the abstract layout die, number 5, but actually this is the second in the series. The first one in the series was this one. Do you remember? So we used that one last time, and that one came with its infusion papers, and this was what we did in the craft along last time, wasn't it? I showed you all these tricks and tips with this lovely paper. Okay, so that was the first one. The second one that we showcased was this fabulous octagonal layout die, inspired by Linda Williams, groovy plates, really cool, right? Nicola Pearsall, hello there. Hi, nice to see you too. Right, so we've got the dies, we've got these gorgeous flowers that Jazz designed, really, really lovely. I mean, these are so useful. Look, I'll show you. In fact, I'll show you the printed out version in a minute. But these, all these lovely, that little tiny stamp there is fabulous, really nice. So we've got them, we've got the die, we've got, the papers, yeah. So we've got these papers. So this was an idea that we had. Jim did these for us. And these are tea papers that we made with tea stain, right? And then you can see there is, there's like an infusion. This shape is embedded, not embedded, but infused. So you can just see for layout and for positioning, it's really cool. There are 4 different, can you see the shapes? It's so faded. Even if you didn't use it, it wouldn't make any difference at all. It's just a pattern within the paper. So these are just beautiful papers. See, quite difficult to see, but I tell you what, when you get your eye in, then it's clear. It becomes clear. And there's another one. Again, quite difficult to see, but that's what you want. You want it just to be subtle, infused. Okay. So those are the papers there. There are 4 of each. 4 papers, 4 of each. It's just a little taster, really, because of course we've got those other beautiful papers, peppermint, chamomile, what was that one, Darjeeling and hibiscus. There are 4 really lovely tea infusion papers. So, and we launched them this year, and these are kind of little taster packs that come. There are 5 in the series. This is the second one. Right, so this was showcased. Many of you will have this. And then the other thing that we've done is we've included now, because we've got this all singing, all dancing, brilliant digital printer. And we also have an all singing, all dancing, brilliant lady called Lisa, who's very, very clever. She who knows how to run said digital printer. And so herself and Jazz, between them, they create these beautiful booklets. And we thought, because when we're on telly, and please don't misunderstand me, I always think of telly as a real privilege, but it is telly, and therefore you can't really spend so long, or as long as you would like to, looking at the beautiful art samples that the Clever Design team create to show you what can be done with all this loveliness. So we thought, why not make a little booklet? And then in the booklet, right, for each of these sets and for other stamp sets coming up, we thought we could make a little gallery. So now you can see the cards here, right? And we name check, of course, our artists. But there are so many lovely ideas here, you see. So you've got loads of cards here. Look, I mean, this is really neat. And this is just part of the kit set. This is lovely. This is using other stamps. So other ideas, stamps that you might already have in your stash, the wee folk, or you see here. So this is the one. There may be, these, I love these build a scene stamps. See, doesn't that look fantastic in there, right? Look, just ideas. These ones here. Remember the ones with the vase in them? Those, look at that. Doesn't that look fantastic? Yeah, I know. So there you go. And there's the papers that I was talking about, the 4 tea infusions, designer papers. So that, my friends, is the kit that we're going to be putting through its paces this evening, right? That's the first thing. So I'll put these away because these are brand new and could actually go out in an order. The orders for the member sale finally all gone out. It was an inordinate, a mammoth task believe you me. And it takes as long as it takes, you know. So, but I do know that they've all left the building. Hallelujah. So, this is going to go back in stock, friends. And I've got my little stash here ready to go. Next thing, I want to show you some artwork. So let's have a look at the artwork. First of all, let's look at, how should we do this? Yeah, because sometimes it's just really cool to take a look at some art and deconstruct it, you know. So I can, because I've got it in front of me, it's a lot easier for me to say, oh, this is how this has been done. This is how that's been done, right? So let's have a look. And I know that in the room today, there'll be loads of our design team members. They'll be there too. And if I don't know the name of the stamp or the kit, either Grace or our friends will know, and they'll be able to pile in and help. So you can see here all these really, really useful flower stamps. Okay, so you've got your bouquets, then you've got your singles, you've got your, so you can build a bouquet, see? So you've got your daisies, and then you've got your single daisies. Then as you go down, you've got roses, you've got single roses, you've got, you see? So you've got a rose stem, and then you've got single buds, and you've got leaves, you've got little ones, you've got bells, you've got all sorts, you've got a bit of foliage. There is a real beautiful mix of flowers in this stamp set, and that is actual size. So if I lay that over the top like that, that's the size of the stamps, just like that. These are already well loved. I like them a lot. I like them a lot. And you can see here, right, so let's just look at the stamps. This is Tina, I think. Yeah, Tina Morris, really nice. And you can see here, let's get in a bit tighter, just so that you can see this artwork a bit better. Excuse my shirt. Right, there you go. Okay, so you can see Tina, she's put the words down first, and then she's used little stamps. Look, these ones here, to just put round here. There's another pair there. Maybe she's used that as well. These go together, really neat. See, they've got dots in those ones and then round bits in those ones. So, and the Get Well Soon, that comes from, I can't remember the name of that set, but there's a really comprehensive set of words where you get loads of different words, all in different, I think they're called occasion sentiments set. This is another one by Tina. You can see here, I know exactly how she's done this. Now let's see if we can, there's the stamp, there's the little stamp. Look, bish bosh bish all the way along. She's taken low tap masking tape, just pumping out ideas here. Pop the masking tape down like that. There's your mask, right? Stamp, 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 colour, 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 remove. Bit of stencil work through the back there, lovely hearty stencil, and a happy anniversary, which is from that same, it's from that same set. What are we calling it? Occasion sentiments. There you go. Occasion sentiments. Thank you, Tina. Really nice, achievable work. And this also would look nice, like that length. It doesn't have to be that big, does it? Just that much. Okay. Brilliant. Low tap masking tape. Now this one, what we've got here, Deborah Wheeler. This is lovely. So she's popped the flowers. She's popped a little bunch of flowers. Here they are. Pop them into a vase. Neat. Yeah, that's lovely, isn't it? With the little clouds in the background. And then this one, don't know who did this one. Love it though. So she made a border with the sending love, masked it off. If you're in the room and you did this, put your hand up, friend. Then stencil in the background. Doesn't that look smashing? Then this one is Sheila Metzeler. There we go. Love this. So she's taken these lilies and made a wreath with them, and this leaf here. So it's interesting, isn't it, how you can just take that leaf and those lilies. There we are. Nice. Forgive me for not interacting with you. I'm too busy doing this. Grace will keep you company. Don't worry. I'll just keep gassing. Thank you so much for your special birthday offer. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Now let's have a look. Oh, this is a really nice one. And they're all, this is Deb Wheeler's again. So Deb's going to be on the telly 1 and 4, remember? But I love this, see how they, so I reckon, look, you could just literally draw around the inside so that you've got your I don't know whether Deb did that, but just draw around the inside of it like that, and then north, south, east, west, and then look, or lunch, 12 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, 1:30, 4:30, 7:30. Okay, so that's how I would space them out. North, south, east, west, and then do the 4 in between. Yeah, isn't that nice? And where is it? Yeah, there it is. So that's the same one. There you go. That's the same one as that one. Aren't they lovely? I know. You know, when you get pound for pound mileage, that little tiny, this is Andy. Love this. Right, grungy, mixed media, one little stamp. Where is it? It's here somewhere. Spot the stamp. This is like, where's Waldo? It's here somewhere. Because I used it earlier. There it is. That little fella. See? That little fella there. And then we just coloured it in randomly. And then we've used that little dot there. Look, hang on. We have a little dot. Dot, 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 dot. Isn't that nice? Love it. Andy, man, a few words. Cool. And this is a lovely one. Andy again. Nice background. Just took the bluebells, put them on a hill. Doesn't that look great? I know, really nice. If you haven't got these stamps, actually, they're worth having in your stash. There you go, Julie Dunn, single daisy in the corner. This is a nice one, Jane Telford. Good news, Colin is on the mend. May take a little while, love, but we will get there, won't we? There we go. So this is using these little flowers here. Look, isn't that nice? Really nice. Doodle dies and lots of dye work there. Debbie McMullen, love this one. So she's used there. That lovely leaf is very pretty. Well done, Jazz. I love this. Look, I really like that as well. But this is the one that she's used all the way around there. Yeah, really nice. This is a lot of work. Sheila Metzeler, of course. Love this. Lots of cutout flowers and layering. But isn't that a pretty thing? Yeah. So I like that one. And you can see here, so it was Sonia. Sonia, we see a pattern. Thank you, Sonia. So this is Sonia's work. She's made the border there, and then she's got these lovely daisies. And it is persisting down outside. This is another one from Tina Morris. And this one is a Julie Dunn special. Now I'm just going to start showing off the lovely cards. Beautiful wreath work. Look at that. Jane Telford. This is an interesting one. Sonia Goodliff. I like this. She took the die from the first set and then applied the flowers to it. Of course you can. So there you go. There's some artwork. We're 1/4 of an hour in. And I'm going to say, right, that we pause the art gallery there. We'll do it in 2 halves. So that to me was the art gallery that was very stamp centric, wasn't it? It was really showing off the stamps. And then maybe let's do a little bit of work now. And then let's go back to the gallery. I'm sure Grace will remind me because I'm going to forget. We'll go back to the gallery and then we'll go part 2 and we'll look at die, very die centric, you know, where the die is the centerpiece. Okay. So let me put that over there. Let me move these over here. Let me put this one in like that. And now we will get started. Okay. So the first thing I want to do, because you'll find when you look at the artwork, all the samples, the design team, they use the Doodle dies a lot. Our Paul Church, he just came in off a really brilliant launch using the round panel dies, and now what you'll see in the artwork is a lot of the square panel dies. And I just thought, for those of you who aren't die specialists like myself, sometimes it just needs to be explained how they work. So I thought to begin with, we could have a little look. Okay, let's have a look at a piece of artwork. So this is the one that I did on telly. And I took my inspiration. I borrowed a piece of artwork. So I'll talk this through. And the reason is because it's more about the doodle dies at this stage and how they enhance anything you do. But I want to show you how they work in conjunction with your other dies. It's specifically these dies. So let's have a look now. If we look at the paper, so you can see, for example, this is the paper with you can see the shape. So it's very easy to stamp into the paper with your daisy. If the stalk's too long, let's say, for example, here, I wanted to use, I could use any one of these. I could use this, this one, like with the lilies in there instead of the daisies, yeah. But if the stalks are too long and you think they're going to come into the center here, then all you've got to do is just take your masking tape, pop that there. Then when you stamp your daisy or then the stalk of the flower just sits on there. Lift that away and then it's there, right? Just saying, if you're thinking, well, hang on a minute, the flowers aren't going to fit, then they do. You just have to reduce the stalks. Okay, we're going to do some stamping later on, but first I just wanted to show you a couple of little tricks. So you can see here the white. I don't know if you saw me do this on telly. This is one of the great things about this paper. If you've got one of these Faber-Castell erasers, you've got pink and you've got a white. The white one, it actually, I'll show you, it takes out the colour. So you see here, you can see there and there. If I come along here like that, you can see I'm adding like a highlight along that edge. Look, I just do that and I can actually add a highlight. So this is really cool, you know, that you can take these papers and you can create depth. So that for example. Now let's say you want to color these in. This is the other thing. You're going to use, I used a black archival to stamp this in place. This is not the demo we're going to do. This is just me showing you a couple of tricks and tips, warming up. So the thing about these papers, apart from giving you great positioning, right, and layout possibilities, so that then you can take your die and go straight over the top and you can see it sits in there absolutely beautifully, right? Apart from this, the other thing is that when you know when we use like parchment, designer parchment or coloured parchment, when you go to add colour, if the designer parchment is dark, then this is what this is for. You take the colour of the designer parchment out, don't you, before you reintroduce colour. Now, similarly with this now, let's say, for example, I want to make these flowers yellow. If I lift a little bit of this brownie colour out of the flowers and out of the leaves before I start, look, it will highlight it. Don't even have to be that exact. Just get a little bit of that stain out. See how white that is now? So now if I go in with my yellow, right, where I've lifted the colour, this is just a yellow B pencil, right, blending pencil. Where I've lifted the colour, what you'll find is it takes it just a lot brighter. Look, see this? See how bright that is? Where I've taken the stain out of the tea infusion paper, it's a lot brighter. See? So worth noting that that's how we colour in. So we're just explaining. That's what I wanted to show you. If we now let's compare something. We've got this, and you can see what Deb's done is she used this on the front, right? So she took a doodle die or the mat of a doodle die. I'll show you, right? And she literally, she took this die. This is this one, okay? See, it makes mats. This is what I'm going to show you. Let me pan out a little bit just to get you in, so you get the picture, get you in the picture. So these doodle dies, you see these on loads and loads of artwork. So if you, for example, let me just pop that to one side. We could take this one, right? And when we cut this out like that, it will cut out the outer edge like that, but it will leave a mat in the middle. Okay, so this one here, for example, this is before it was stuck down. If I take this and I lay that up on there like that, and I cut it out, run it through the machine, I'm going to get that. I get this mat because there's no inner cutting edge, but there is an outer cutting edge. So if I was to take this now, see, there's a difference between the die this die, which when you cut this out, look, I'll show you. When you cut this one out, it just leaves the hole in the middle, right? It literally gives you an aperture like this. This die, and this is, you've got to learn this, if you pop that down there, you're not going to get these holes. You'd kind of cut the whole thing out. What you'll end up with, if you do that, right, is a great big hole in your card. Do you see what I mean? This will just cut this out, and what you'll have is this floating around. This is not for what you think it'll do. How do I know that? Because I've made that mistake. So this is a mat. This is a panel maker. So if, for example, right, let's show you on a white piece. If I take a white bit of card like that, yeah, and I cut that out like so, what I'm going to get is that, like that, right? Which is exactly the same as the decorated one, this one, right? It's exactly the same thing, right? You following me? Now, if I go back in here, I know loads of you understand this, but I know loads of you don't, right? Now let's go into this one. So I've taken the big one there and I've cut that out. And that's how I've ended up with my panel. If I then take the next one in, this one, this smaller one, I've got another set on the go here, that one there, right? And I cut that one out at the same time. This is whether it's round or square. Paul did a cracking job of demonstrating this. So if you do that, right, but then you cut this one out as well, this is what you're going to get. Immediately, you'll get that, because now what you've done is you've introduced a cutting edge on the inside. So then this bit here disappears and you end up with that and that. Do you follow? So now you've got this floppy bit and a smaller mat. So that's how the next one in creates the cutting edge. And you can go on and on and on and on like that, right? So you can, if you put them all together, you'll have loads of these floppy ones, or you can do them all individually and you'll get loads of mats, right? If you don't put one in the middle, you get a mat and you get a smaller mat and a smaller mat. So these are all either mats or they're all floppy bits. And everyone wants a floppy bit sometimes. So if you, for example, you take this, right, and you pop that in there, now it all becomes clear. What you've done here is you've taken that, you've cut that, and that's your edge, which is exactly, that's perfect for there. Now on the front, you might say, wow, it looks a bit boring. There's a lot of black going on. I'd really like to introduce a bit of white or yellow or something. So then how about we pop that on there and it totally changes, you see? So this is the whole point. You can see how it completely transforms your artwork. And that's why I think that these are absolutely brilliant for framing and for outer pieces, you know. So these are like next generation panels for me. So that's really the main thing. Now the next thing is, right, so you understand how they work now, right? Part 2, let me show you this. If I take my, where's the die that I'm using? Where's the die? Here it is. So let's do this one then. Now let's do this. See, what you'll see is that this die fits in that die like that. Okay, all of this size. So these dies are all the same as all our dies. So they're all, this is a 5 by 5 inch, right? These are 5 by 5 inch dies. So this now will sit in that one there like that. Okay, you can see that. So let's do that, and you'll see now what happens. If let me take a piece of white stencil card. Let's just take a piece of white stencil card, okay? And what I'll do is, if I do it, then you'll understand. So let's go here. So we've got those two dies, and I'll tell you why, because I do need this. I'm going to use this in a minute. So we're going to go like that, and we're going to cut that. See, I could cut it out there as well, because this is just going to give me a square. If I wanted to use these bits for something else, or we could just gut it by, what I mean by that is take the center out, right? So it's up to you now which way you want to go. Let's have a look at how we set the sequence down. So I'm using the kit and caboodle. I like this kit and caboodle. I like the Gemini as well, but I like the kit and caboodle because the plates don't bend, okay? So we sell this one now, okay? And also they discontinued the Gemini I was using. So I thought, well, you know, change is good. And can you use your Gemini plate? Of course you can. You know, but these are straight. And are there replacements? Yeah, I've been talking to the guys that we get these from, and the replacements. Or if you just want these plates, maybe to use with your Gemini, you know, why not? I don't know why you wouldn't. Just saying, right? But let's have a look. Let's have a look at the sequence now. If I take my 5mm, I take my 5mm. Look, and in the corner it says 5mm. Right, so let's take that one, and let's take a poly bag, just because I want to, and I don't want to have all the bits embedded in there. Yeah. So now I'm going to put both of. See, the thing about doing it like this is you've got to be sure that they don't overlap. If you overlap them, that will not do your dies much good. I know that too. So let's have a look. But you know what? I'm no expert, but I like this effect. I think it looks really good. So now we're using the die from the kit, right? So let's put this in there. Let's do this, and let's make sure. I mean, you could do it separately, couldn't you? You could do the you could do this first, and then put that round the outside. I just think this is easier because it's perfectly lined up, isn't it? Agreed? That's not going anywhere. Right, and then we need a magnetic shim. So we'll take that one. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a bit of copy paper down just to keep so it doesn't move around. Right, and then I'll put my magnetic shim down like so. It's more for depth. It's more for the thickness. You need it for. Then we're going to go with the 3mm. See that 3mm one there, like so. Right, stick that down. Right, and then we'll run it through. So run it through the machine. Go on, you can do it. Of course you can. How are we doing? Does it feel like I'm trying to sell you these dies? I suppose I am really, but the reason is because I think they're such a beautiful. It just looks so lovely when you do this. You know, it just adds a real classy effect to your artwork. So let's just lift this off. I'm not a quick crafter. I don't believe in quick crafting. Let's have a look. If I take this off here now, just pull this off slowly. Take your time. Right, low tack masking tape. We'll just lift that off there like that. Let's see. Right, that should do that. We'll do that one. And then we'll take this one off here as well. Okay. Just slowly does it. You can always detack it a bit if you don't want to tear the card, Barbara. Done. Right, and then we'll lift this off. Now, this is my point. See how, so now we've cut the outside. So, and you know when I said, because you think, oh, I want to do that, and then I want that round there. That's a different die. It's a different die set. We have got them, but that's a different die set. As soon as you do that, right, it just cuts this hole out. And how does she know that? Because she's done it. So there's no point in taking a folded card to do this. Right, and then what we'll do is, so we've got all our bits that come out. These are good to use. I'll show you those when we do our second demo. Now let's take this one out of here. Right, let me just lift this out. Right, so we've got that one now out of there. Okay, so it's got all those lovely bits in it. They come out easily. Just pop that on there. But now, and that's what we're looking for. Look, so you're combining. I really like that look. I just love it, right? And that little fella I'm going to use. In fact, these little fellas, all of these little fellows are really useful. Now, let me see if I can find this artwork. So Linda Spencer, she sent me a beautiful letter. Linda is a letter writer. She's one of the design team. I don't know how many years. We must have been together for 15 years now. She always sends me beautiful letters. And you can see what she's done is she's taken the bits and she's stamped them up and she's layered them up. See, I love that. I think that is, see how it's layered up? See if I can show you on the other chat. There. So you can see how they're all layered up. So the bits, the scraps, if you like, are the bits that Linda's used on a designer paper, like on Rainbow River paper. Doesn't that look smashing, you know? So now you know how to use these. And as far as how to get rid of all the bits, let me just, if I come across as a bit slower than usual today, it's because I feel a bit slower than usual today. But that's okay, you know, that's okay too, isn't it? Let me just find, this place looks like a bomb's at it. That's another thing, because we'll be going telly. Go to the telly, do a television show, come back, dump all the stuff, get ready for the next TV show. And then what happens is, it's funny, is I can't show you the state of this place, right? But it's not great. And the trouble is, what happens then is you start losing everything, or you haven't lost it, you just can't find it, and then you haven't got the right ink pen, and so it goes on. So all I'm doing now is just using one of those brushes, but you know what, a toothbrush does it just as well. But you just take these out like that, just run through like that. I see people whacking the dies on the side of the table. You know, each to their own. If you feel that that's better, then by all means, you know, if you want to get rid of some pent up frustration, you know, I suppose that works too. But for me, I think that, look, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to do that, isn't it? Confetti, I know, weddings. So there you go. That's what I wanted to show you, how we can combine the two. I love that look. And you can have a session doing this. You know, this is a sort of thing that you can just die cut loads of these and make different borders, different patterns, and so on. You know, I think that's quite nice, don't you? Anyway, so let's put that to one side. That, I think that kind of shows you the doodle idea. And what I want to do is, let me just take this one. I'm going to borrow this. I'm going to hang on to that because I bet I'm going to use that in a minute. You know how I've done that. I've just used the die by itself as an outline. So we'll hang on to that as well. We'll pop those in there so we know where to find them. I'm going to hang on to that because I think I might use it again. I'm definitely going to use that again. And then these bits, I'll just pop them into my box so I know where to find them if I need them. There you go. They're handy. Do you know what? Yeah, I've just had an idea. Anyway, and I need this. In a minute, I'm going to use this for a demo. But for the moment, let's just put this to one side and then we'll have a look at a different demo. So that's really not so much a craft along as a a demonstration of how to use the dies together with the doodle dies, okay? Because you'll see the artwork, you see loads of it, and you think, how do they do that? How do they get those bits? In fact, what I want to do now is let's have a look at the die-centric samples and see what I'm talking about. So here now more will become clear. So this is a Julie Dunn special, and you can see she's used the doodle dies around the outside, but she has used, you can see she's just used the die itself, laid it over the top and put Tina's flowers in the back. Then we've got Linda Spencer's, just as I showed you. This is a great one by Debbie McMullin. She's used the stamp board and embedded into it. Now we're going to be doing that in about 20 minutes time. I'm going to show you how to get this effect. But yeah, really nice. But we're going to use a different shape. So let's just have a look and see. So you know now this one, for example, is open, just literally cut through. And then that's lovely. Sheila Metzeler. Then we've got Julie Dunn. You can see that she's cut the outside like that. This is a neat one by Debbie McMullin. So she's used designer toppers and she's just cut out a section. She really liked doing the off center. Again, Debbie McMullin, she twisted it and did it that way. This is a cool one by Linda Spencer. Once again, she's used the scraps and stuck them down. So that's the bits that she's used. And this is interesting because this is a Jane Telford, and it's almost like they had a conversation and Jane used the other bits. Isn't it funny? But I really like that too. That's very nice, isn't it? Can we use the code more than once, Grace? I think it's a once only use, isn't it, Grace? Right, Sheila Metzeler, lovely. You know, very monochromatic. I like that too. This is a bright and beautiful one by Julie Dunn. Really nice, using designer paper. So you see, you don't have to use it out of plain. You can use any colour you like. So we've got some craft card. This is a nice glittery one. Who did this? Sonia Goodliff. I like that. It's nice. So every other one, you see, that's lovely. So this is a Tina Morris special. Let's have a look if I can find. This is a nice one. What's this? This is a Deborah Wheeler, Landscapey. So here's one. This is a Sarah Brennan one. This is lovely. So Sarah, you can see here, she's done exactly what, but using a different one. She's used a different pattern. These are the lattice. I'm going to show you those in a minute. But she's used the lattice, just like I did with the film strip. She's done the same with the lattice, you see? Looks good, doesn't it, with black behind? Yeah, I like that. And then this is, let's see, what have we got here? This is another one using the hexagons, Sarah Brennan again. Love the way so you see these doodle dies all the time. Really, really interesting. But I think I'll hold fire there now. I think that's enough to show, right? And what we'll do now, we'll go to another set, another little card, and I'm going to show you. This is where we can start doodling together, right? You ready? So let's have a look. This is a 3.5 by 3.5. Okay. And so just a little bit of card, right? I've used a hexagonal embedder to go with it. So I think, is it a hexagon or an octagon? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's an octagon. So these are our hexagons and octagons. So I'm going to look for, let's have a look. It's that one. There you go. That sits in there beautifully. So I borrowed the center of the die. Remember the bit that we just took out there, out the middle? I've borrowed that. I've stamped a little flower on it. I'm going to pop that inside, and then I'm going to pop that in there like so, right? This is easy peasy, look, right? So we're going to show how to do that, how to use the octagon, and we're going to use that on the inside as well. 1, 2, Yeah, that's it. I'm going to use that, and then I've used a little box. I've used a piece of the paper from the tea infusion. Okay, keeping it simple. So I've got that. I cut that out before, didn't I? There was a method in my madness. We'll pop that in there like so. So with these, what you get is you get the hexagons, you see, in different sizes, like that. Cool, that's a big one. Like that. And then you get the octagons as well, see, like that. So you've got those embedders and you've got those embedders in this particular set. And yes, they are definitely in the sale, because everything is. Everything is. There you go. So let me show you one other card. That's that one. And then I'll show you a different one. So this one, this is nice. Let me show you this first of all. So we've got that one, and then we're going to embed that. We're going to stamp that on there, right? And that's what we've got. Yeah. If we want, we can add the doodle die to the top. White on white always looks nice. But you may say, oh, I want to go a bit further. In fact, why can't I make a mat, right? Instead of using a piece of 3.5 by 3.5, I'm just saying choices. Instead of using a 3.5 by 3.5, what about, look, these, and now this is where what we just looked at ties in. So now look at these. These are all the different mats, the mat combinations. Look, all the different sizes. This is the lattice, right? So instead of using this one, what about if I use that one? See, so I could start there. So in other words, I'll put my embedder on that. See, instead of using a blank one. Or if I want to go smaller, because it will work, right? I can put my embedder on that one. I've got choices now. I'm just saying, these are your possibilities. You can either, instead of using a plain piece like that and running a pink ink pad round the side, you could start with one of these, with a mat. Just saying. So this one, see, this is why I think these are brilliant, with the frames and panels. So we put that to one side. Let's stick to simple, even though I'm suggesting that that is an option. And then you see we've also got square ones. See, so again, you see how lovely they look. So again, just a different look, isn't it? So you got, and there's one that I've already done. So I could actually put my image straight on there and then use the embedder on there. See? So it's just different choices. Okay. And I've put it on a piece of tracing paper so that I can, because this is from the stamps, so I can stamp that onto a piece of tracing paper, lay it out nicely, and then I can see exactly where it's going to sit, like that. And then I've got my composition. I've sorted my composition out, because you don't want to cut all that out and then get it in the wrong place, right? So put it on a bit of tracing paper, easy. Okay, but for us now, let's just put all these ones to one side and let's just keep it simple. We're just going to stick to this, right? And that. We're going to keep this so simple because this is our warm-up session. Okay, so the first thing is 3.5 by 3.5. Next thing is we need our lilies, our little lilies. Let's come in a bit closer so you can see better. Right, so let's have a look. If I've got that one there, which flower is that? That is this flower here. That's this one. See, with the lovely bouquet. Let's take that one and let's mount that on, let's put it on a nice big handle. What just fell on the floor? Oh, I hate it when that happens. No, you're right. Right, so now that, we're going to pop it on this little piece. That's our stamping, right? So get it in the right place. Okay. And because you could, if you wanted to, you could stamp it straight in the middle there, but I think it looks really nice on here, okay? So if I take a black ink pad, let's take a black ink pad, and it's always a good idea to have a piece of the same card that you're stamping on, right? And this is your scrap, just to make sure that the ink is right, that you've got the right amount of ink on there, the right amount of pressure, you haven't over inked it, okay? You're going to go like that, get some ink on there. I'm just using black archival. Let's just season the stamp, make sure I'm pressing in the right place, press in the center, you usually get a really good image. That's good enough. So let's go again. I'm just inking up the stamp first. I'll make sure what's the front and what's the back. When you die cut like this, you'll see that there's a bevel. So what you're looking for is the front of the card, right? So let's just get that right. Make sure that we've got it set up right. We're just going to get a really good image in the middle, like that. There you go. Press in the center, give a little wiggle. That should be nice. There you go. Perfect. So I've got my little octagon stamped up. That's easy. Who's stamping along with me? Anybody? That needs to dry a little bit before we colour it in, right? So put that there. While that's doing its drying thing, let's have a look at this. So this is our octagon. This is our octagon, okay? And we want to make sure that it's sitting like that. So we'll take a piece of low-tack tape. I know loads of you say, oh, I know how to do this now. Well, I still, nearly every day, get messages of people asking me, how do you use your embedders? I know, but there you go. I make it look easy, apparently. So let's have a look. So we're going to pop that on there, like that. Once we're happy with the position, then let me make a suggestion that we take a piece of, let's take a bit of card or paper or something that's, so that you can, oh no, you should be able to, if I turn that over and pop that on there, you should be able to see, if I do white on white, you can't see it. So now what I've got to do is, I've got to rub with my finger like this, so that I kind of expose the, can you see how I'm doing that? Now, many of you struggle doing that. So if you take something flat like this, or anything like a cup or anything, a glass, and then you just dig in like that, you'll find this is particularly handy because it's got wood wax on it, so you can see it too. But you can see immediately how it's just digging in to this embedder. See, so you find it, then you rub like that. If you can't do it with your fingers, and the point is, because I'm using a piece of paper behind, that means there's very little chance of that moving while I'm doing it. So once I've done that, then I'll take a tumble dry sheet, just to make, these are all different ways of making it easier. So let's just rub a tumble dry sheet over that as well. And then we'll take our tool. So what we need is our embossing tool, our number 2 tool with a ball, right? And then we're just going to dig slowly and turn like that. Then turn again. Okay, take your time. And then, so the initial is just to get your eye in so you know where to embed, okay? And this is like that, what it gives you is that beautiful faux printing press effect. It looks like you've run it through a letterpress or an intaglio printing press machine, or, yeah, it really is cool. So when we turn this over and we take this away, we've got that really classy front page. And then we take that off, put that back in the pack so you don't lose it. So that's done its job now. It's that simple, okay? That goes in there like so. And the thing about doing it like this and keeping this separate is that now will sit in there really, really nicely, very simply as well, right? Now, as far as colouring in goes, well, I like pergoliners. I think the pergoliners do a grand job for this. So the B pencils, they're like blending pencils. It's just nice to just settle down and do them. So let's have a look. Grace is asking me some questions. Can I just check the questions that she's asking me? Right, okay, let me just check. Maybe I'll go check. When is the sale until? Sunday. Sunday. There we are. So what we're going to do now is just colour this in. Okay. So we'll just take this. We'll pick our colours. I like the oranges and the yellows. So I'm just going to stay within that kind of colourway for this particular. Got some nice little pinks going. And that's the thing as well. In the set, right? In the set here, you've got aqua pencils, water soluble, and you've got blending pencils. But it doesn't matter, they both work. You can use the water soluble pencils, the ones with the black writing on. You can use them just the same as the B pencils. They just don't add water to them. And so that way you get loads more colours as well, right? But you can use them the same as for colouring in. They don't have to. You don't have to add water to them. There you go. So you can just add the colour where you'd like to add the colour, and then let's have a look what we got. I think this is quite a nice lily. There you go. Just add a little bit of colour. It's easy. Cool, the colours are coming out in the garden now. Do you not feel the birds singing? Even though it's still raining a lot, I do feel that spring is in the air. It's starting, isn't it? You find carpets of daffodils everywhere, and it does feel like warmer days are coming. The birds twittering. We've got blue tits nesting in the garden. The magnolias are out. I do love a magnolia, don't you? So they're starting to bud now in the garden, which is beautiful. Love the magnolias. What's your favourite flower? Have you got a favourite? I've got to say, magnolia always excites me. When they come out, I just know, here we go, do like magnolias. And they're so short-lived, aren't they? It doesn't take long and they're gone again, but it kind of marks. It's like the camellias, they're lovely as well. We've got a red one right by the front door. Beautiful. Yeah, Grace got me a fantastic bougainvillea for my birthday, which is really lovely. Do like bougainvillea. Reminds me of California, because when we lived in Carmel, we had this amazing bougainvillea all across the front of the house. Cool, it was lovely. And I never thought that you could actually grow them in this country, but maybe with climate change, maybe that's one of the, because it's getting warmer. I didn't think that bougainvilleas actually could handle this temperature, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. So we shall see. I know that they're quite sensitive and they don't like being moved when they're established. Anyway. So that's it. That's it. If you want to get a little bit of shadow going, then just inside there. But you don't have to. This isn't tricky colouring in. This is just pleasant colouring in, isn't it? It's just pleasant colouring in. There you go. That's what we're going to call it. Yeah. Right. This is a perfect way to spend a Thursday evening, isn't it? Yeah. Once I get into it, I really enjoy it. Right. So we've done that. We've done that. And now let's have a look, because around the edge you can see I've got some pink. Yeah, you see that there? So it just kind of separates out when you lay it down on the paper. It just separates it out. So you've got choices. There's lots of different ways to do that. You can use a pencil to run around the edge. Let's have a look if we can do that. Let's put it on that scrap there like so. And then let's just see if I run, yeah, see? So I can just take that pencil and I can just run it along that edge like so. You see how you get that pink edge there? See, so you can take it. Oh, see if you do that, you might less control, but you can use the side of the pencil to do that. You've seen me do this with ink pads. Let me just show you different ways so many different ways to do the same thing. So you've got that pink edge there with the pencil. Let me grab a pink ink pad and I'll show you that. Just digging out a pink ink pad. What should we go with? Kitsch Flamingo or Spun Sugar? Oh, I don't know, Barbara. Right, see which one shows up more. Well, I would say that Kitsch Flamingo is definitely going to show up more. See, so then you take a Kitsch Flamingo like that, and then you just run it in there like so. So you could do that as well. So you could just run the ink pad or the card. That's an easy way to do it too. See? So you can go like that. If you want it a bit more, then you just go a bit longer. Okay. You might find that safer and easier to do, like so. That looks good. I like Kitsch Flamingo. Nice colour. Right, and then the other way to go, which we will do in another, this is quite fine, so you probably want to kind of stick to a fine line. If we use a brush, you're going to come in a lot more on there, aren't you? So let's just use the ink pad and have done with it. There you go, easy. We've done that, keeping it simple. Right, that's it. So we've done that, we've done that, we've done that. You probably want to do the same around that edge if you're going to, I don't know what we're going to stick it on. We've got well, here's one I've already done with a bit of pink. So you've got a piece of the 5x5, got a 5x5 card blank. That's good enough. Yeah, got that. We've got a piece of card like so. Then you've got that one, haven't you? Or remember what we said, you could use your doodle die, can't you? Like your panel. So that looked good too. Like that. My lattice panel. But with with the embedding in it. The embedder is what makes it, friends. And then stick that on there, but add the embedder to that. Wunderbar, right? I'd rather have the embedder than that. That's it. So that goes on there, that goes on there, that goes on there, that goes on there. Nice. See, that's that simple. That's the one we've just done, the brighter one. There. And then we stick it all together using one of those glue runners, which is somewhere. Here it is. This place looks like a bomb has hit it. That there, see? So that stick all that down, and that works like a charm. Okay. So that's that one. 2 down, 1 to go. Are you up for another? This is the best one. I've been saving the best one for last. This is a really nice card. So we put this lot away. Okay. Did you make that one? Did you do it? Did you stick it all together? How did you do it? I'd love to see your artwork. Let's put that over there for a minute. I'll clear this all up tomorrow. Oh, I've been saying that since January. I know, don't say a word. Still made some potato soup though. And I went and got Dave home from the hospital today. You know, been a busy day. Right, so we stick my stamp back on the set and then we'll start again. Now we've got our friend Sarah Brennan. Are you in the room? My darling Sarah. She lost her dad last year. Still dealing with that. And then hubby passed away last week. Her husband. I know. Wow. You know. So Sarah, darling girl, are you there? So I want to use your artwork, if that's okay with you, because I saw it and I thought it was bloody lovely. And so that's what I'm going to do, girlfriend. Is she with us? Let's have a look. Sarah, I know you are. You craft a distraction like I do. There she is. I knew you were there. So Sarah did this fabulous piece of artwork, which I thought was so cool, right? And I wanted to do it on telly. And then I ran out of time. Check this out. Now, this is really, really clever. But then again, of course, so is Sarah. So let's have a look. If we go up close, let's see if you can see what she's done. I'm going to come right up close. And what you'll see is that it's really clever. It's stamp board, it's embedded. She's taken the die and then she's cut the die to fit the heart. So I saw this and I thought, that is what I want to do on telly. And then we ran out of time. Isn't that wonderful? Absolutely wonderful. Sarah, she blogs every day, don't you, love? Same as Deborah Wheeler. I don't know where they find the time. I did for many, many years. I used to blog every day. Now I just blog sporadically. But I try my best, with the best intentions. But Sarah and Deb, they are so organised and they blog. So I bet you've done this as a blog, haven't you, Mrs.? Go on. I bet you have, because you do everything with the blog. Look how this is Sarah. Check this out. Look, she tells me exactly how to do it on the back as well. I know. Sarah, what's your blog? Sarah brennanblogspot.com. Go on, give us your link. And then I thought, right, so I'm going to do that. Then I thought, well, so I did it with the stamps that Sarah used. And then today, well, I went and got Dave from the hospital. And then I thought, well, what about if, looky, I thought we could do it with the stamps that we've got in front of us. So now we're taking that same, see, so it's not the lily one, it's a different one. It's with the lily, it's a different flower, right? Same idea though. And we're going to just fill this whole thing. How do you feel about that? And the other thing that is really, really neat, right? If you look at Sarah's, you can see the texture in the background. So I spent a little bit of time, see the texture, see the grungy, the lines in the back. See all these bits. So that's what I want to show you how to do. Because to get that texture, you have to use the machine and the plates, old plates. If you've got old, tired plates that are all scratched up, that's what you need now. Did Sarah give us? Yeah, there she is. sarahscraftshed.co.uk. There you go. Wunderbar. And what about Deborah Wheeler? Is Deb in the building? Because she blogs every day. Fabulous artwork too. Deb, if Debbie's around, maybe she could give us the link for her blog as well, because she doesn't have to do some lovely work too. Yeah. I mean, all the design team too. But they're the two ladies that blog daily. Bing bong. Every day. Yeah. So let's have a look at how we're going to do this. What do we need? Let's take a look. So I'm going to put out the ingredients, and this is the one we're going to do together. Ready, girls and boys? I know Ken's there, so I've got to say boys. First of all, we need, we definitely need a stamp board, a heart, the medium one, not the largest one, not the smallest one, the one in the middle. So if you haven't got that, doesn't matter. Look, you can do it on the square as well. That's all right. Yeah. So we're going to do that. I'll show you how to do that. Then we need a couple of brushes. I'll show you what we've got. We're going to use a couple of brushes. We're going to use, I used the sepia, same as Sarah did. I used a couple of different colours. Then this one, I actually put milled lavender in, but you can do what you like. Tea dye, that was the one that Sarah prescribed, right? And then also we need we need the die because we're going to cut out, we need the black, don't we? So we've got to cut out the black as well, because, so we need the card for this, then we need that to cut out of a bit of black paper, black card. So I've got a bit of that as well. Right, you ready for this? And then we need a load of stamps. Do you remember years ago, there was this a way of making cards years ago, and we used to call it the grid technique. And you used to with masking tape, you used to isolate sections, and then you just used to concentrate on that piece, and then you go to the next piece, and then you go. It's similar to that but simplified. And the grid, this is really makes that so easy compared to what we used to have to do with masking tape. So let's get started. I think the first thing we'll do is we'll do the heart first. Let's do the heart first. Okay, good. Yeah, is Deb there? Maybe not, eh? That's all right. Somebody will know what Deborah Wheeler's link is, because they really do. Sarah and Deborah, they really do. They are very conscientious. Jane Telford, she's another one that blogs frequently, does beautiful demos. There you go. That's it. I mean, I know that Sarah, she's got a lot on her plate at the moment, but she blogged ahead. I put both blog links up. Thanks, Grace. Marvellous. She'd already blogged ahead before disaster struck in her home. So her blogs are coming through because they're already scheduled. She pre-blogged them all the week before. Bless her heart, eh? I wish I was that organised, Sarah. Listen, if you're bored, you can always come over here and help me out. If you fancy a break in the southeast of England, Sarah, mi casa su casa, and if you can find a way through this lot, then you are very, very common. Right, let's get this started now. So what we're going to do is take one of these, and there's a sequence. So this is where I had to really get my head around it. So what we're going to do, you see, we're going to embed. If I show you what we're looking for, this is what we're going for. We're going to embed right into the stamp board, right? So when you look at the back, you can see it. It's come right through. Okay. So that's what we're looking for, like so. So the thing is, though, that when you look really close, you can maybe see that it's got some texture. You can only see it really when you go over it with a brush, but it's there. And the texture comes from, let me show you, it comes from this plate. See this plate that's all scratched up? That's where it comes from. So I'm going to show you the sequence of how to get, look, if I come up close and let it just settle, see all the scratchiness. If you don't like that, see, I like it. If you don't like that, then don't do what I'm doing, all right? But it looks really nice. There's another piece by Debbie McMullen. She did a cracking one with that scratchy effect as well. I'm just looking for it. See if I can find it in a minute. Bear with me. Here it is. See? Scratchy. Look. Same thing. See the scratches? But you can only see them when you go over them with colour. Great minds thought alike there. Now, so we take that. Now, so what we've got to do, if that's the scratchy side, I had to figure this out. If that's the scratchy side, then I've got to put that down like that with the blades facing up. When I say blades, they're cutting edges, but they're not blades. They don't cut you, right? So that's facing up. And then the front of the heart is facing down like that. So now that's the way it's going to be. So I can see where I want to place my centerpiece. Do I want it bang in the middle? Not really. Looks a bit weird. Let's go off the side like that. So I'm going to go like so, right? So when I turn that round, that'll do. That'll be nice like that. So I can see where it's going to sit. But I need this front to be hitting this scratchy side, don't I? What's a better scratchy side? They're all pretty much of a much. Which is the worst of the scratchy now? That's the worst side. Right, so the front needs to go down, yeah, like that. And the blade or the cutting edge is looking up at me. So don't do what I did and put the magnet shim down like that, because you know what's going to happen, don't you? Yes, and it did. I thought it might be thick enough, but no. So if I put the magnet shim down like that, it's going to cut. It makes good fridge magnets, but that's about all it's good for. So what we've got to do, right, is make another thickness that we're not going to use the magnet shim. I'm not even going to risk it for a biscuit, right? Not on this one, because if there's a cutting edge, I don't want it even in the vicinity of my magnet, right? So I've got choices. I need to do some packing. Now, when I say packing, you know, shims, when in printmaking, you start to pack. In other words, if you want the pressure, then you have to put layers in. We call them shims in craft. In printmaking, they call it packing, right? Sort of layers. So you could use, for example, and the machine will spit it out. If it's too thick, it will just reject it. So we could do several things. We could take a piece, like 2 bits of card. This is like a 7 by 7 by 7. So I could pop that on there, right? That would work. Or I could take some copy paper, right? So say I've taken a couple of sheets of copy paper. So I've got one folded in half, folded in half, folded in half. So I've got 6 layers there of paper. See, that might do the job. But you never know. I mean, I tested it. I know that a double piece of card like that, I know that works. But you may not want to waste a lovely 7 by 7 black card, you know, although you can use it again and again and again and again and again. I'm going to try 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm going to try 8 bits of copy paper, right? And then that's going to sit on there like so. That'll do. And then I'll take my, see, that's packing. That's just, it's making up the thickness of the, it's making up the thickness of the magnet. That's what it's doing. If it cuts through my copy paper, I don't care. If it cuts through my magnet, I do care. But I'm trying to make enough pressure. You can tell. That's pressure. Can you hear it? So it's enough pressure that the soft stamp board is pushing down onto that layer. Let's have a look what we got. So when I turn this over, right? Yeah, nice. Right. So when I lift this off, let's have a look. So I lift that off, and it's gone through a couple of, but I can use this again and again. See, so I've used, just to recap, how many did I use? 1, 2, 3, 4 bits of copy paper folded over. So in other words, 8 layers of copy paper. Yeah, 8 layers, 4 sheets. There you go. And I didn't have to use an expensive piece of card. I tried everything this afternoon after I knackered my magnet. I tried everything. Grey board's too thick, mount board's too thick, stamp board's too thick. So I settled on, Paul and I were on the phone trying to do this. And I settled on copy paper, because to me, it's what you've got at home. It's what Paul said as well. He said that's what they'll have at home. Okay. Okay, so now we've done that. We've done that. We've got that. While we're standing up and we're doing this, how about we take, because we do need this, and we need a bit of black card. What about if we just run this through at the same time? Come on, let's do this, because we do need this as well. So do I need to use that? That's the only black card I've got, really. Is that look? Oh, what have I got here? That'll do. Right, bit of black card. So I'll pop that on there, pop that on there. I just, what I need, right, is these bits, because that's the Yeah, so I've got to have these bits in here. Right, so I could just use a bit of black card. I could use a piece of, I'll use a poly bag as well, like that. That'll do. Stops all the black bits getting in the, so I've got that. Blades facing down this time, down. So I can use my magnetic shim, that'll do. Right, okay. And then we've done, that's it. We've done what we need as far as die cutting goes. I really like this piece of artwork. And the nice thing is, the optical illusion that Sarah created is really very lovely. So let's have a look what we got here. So we take that off there. Cuts like butter. Got that. There you go. And what I'm gonna need that bit there, so I can just cut this off. I could trim it. I could use a nested die. I can hang on to these bits because these are always useful. These bits. So I'll pop them to one side like that. There you go. Put that there. That there. Right, I've got that. Okay. So then, let's just do this. So I've got it in front of me. And it's all done then. So I'll just trim this up because I don't need, it's just, actually I'll do that and I don't waste all that. It's just easier to handle if you've got that bit there. Right, that'll do. Okay. Scrap black, that'll do. So what have we now? We've got that and we've got that. Yeah? And so just so you understand the game here, you've got your 5x5. You've got your mount board. Where's Sarah's gone? So you see it. That's there like that. That's there like that. She's done all the brown work. Then she's taken this. She's glued this onto here, right? It's not on there yet. It's not stuck on there yet. She's glued that onto there like that, right? And then when it's glued on there, she's taken a pair of scissors and she's just trimmed it to size. I would say a pair of scissors. Maybe, I don't know, maybe she's used a blade, but I would have said a pair of scissors do the job lovely. So you just glue it on and then you just snip it round there like that. And that's what creates the optical illusion that these run into the back. Yeah, which is really nice. If you didn't want to do that, then you just use this like that. Doesn't that look nice too? But I was impressed with Sarah's idea of putting this on there. That's your choice though. That's just an optional, that's an option. I rather like that too, like so. So I want to show you how to do this now. And we're going to have just a happy stamping session now. Let's have a look. You can use any one of these. Let's use that one we just did. Yeah, let's use this one. Right, so what we're going to do now is so that we keep in, rather than use the stamps from Tina, which do look lovely, like that, what we'll do is we'll go to the stamps that are in the set because that's what we're looking at here, isn't it? So the first thing we'll do is just start stamping into position. And I would say we'll go with the lily first in the center. And we're going to use, you ready for a little stamping session now? Right, here we go. So we'll use, let's do the one in the center first. Get that one out of the way. And what we need is a few mounts. Let me see if I did have some more mounts than that here earlier. Un momento. Wonder where they've gone then. So I've got my masking tape. Oh, here we go. There we are. That'll do. Right. So I've got that. And I need a piece of scrap just to make sure that the stamps are good. Sepia, archival, very nice colour. Okay. So we'll just ink this up. Make sure you like it. It's got a nice feel to it, this. Yeah, lovely. So let's see if I can I go like this? Sarah says she used scissors. Did you, Sarah? Thank you. Right, this will go well. Let's make sure that I can press like that. Yeah, lovely. So I can go straight in the ink pad like that. See, sometimes the ink pads, they go, it's not, I'll show you what this is a fact. Okay, let me just find my spot here. Just plant that bunch of lilies. This is why, that's nice. Well done, Gray. Let me show you something. Sometimes on the telly, you'll see me, let me pan out so you can see what I'm doing. And then you'll get what I'm talking about. Let me see if I come in here. If I come down here, can you see that? So what I have to come out a bit further. Hang on, let me just come out a bit further. Right. So you see the edge of the table here. So usually what I do is I run it on the edge of the table and I press. So what I'm doing is I'm pressing here. What happens often with ink pads over time, when, I don't know why it is, but it is a fact. Over time, sometimes they go concave. They start getting they go in the center. So what happens is if you ink up your ink pad like that, right? And you think, and then you go to stamp it like that, and the middle's missing. And it happens, it's not you, it's because the ink pad's a little bit concave for a start, which doesn't help. And the other thing is that the I've got ink all over my stamp now. The ink pad can be concave, so you're not actually inking up the center of the stamp. So because you know that, what you can do is you can compensate. It doesn't mean the ink pad's rubbish, it's just the way it is. That's what happens to old ink pads. And when they're old, I like them better when they're a little bit dried out. So what you do is, you see, when you're pressing on the area that is concave. So you know that the middle bit is the bit that's got a dip in it. So that's the area that you press on. And that way the ink pad goes on forever, right? So you know, and then I press on the center of the stamp. So that way you're always you've got two opportunities now. One, even if there's not as much ink in the center, if you press on it there, you're going to get an even inking. Yeah, right. So we've done that one, and then we'll just start looking at the different stamps and decide which stamps we're going to put where. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's use this one as our guide because it's really pretty, and there's no point in keep reinventing the wheel. You could put these anywhere, okay? But I just want to, let's just, I'm not going to whistle through it, but let's have a look. Over here, we've got that lovely, really, really nice bluebell. So let's pop that down. Let's use a different stamp mount. No, it's too small. Let's use this one again then. All right, that'll do. Like that. So we're going to pop this there. Now, this is going to come out too much because the stalk's too long. So remember what I said earlier, if that is the case, then we just use our low tap masking tape and we create a wall. So now when I stamp this into position, the reason I want to do it here is because I want to be able to put my words in there. So I'm going to stamp that up like so, right? Ink up. I know that this isn't concave, see, so I can do, this is much nicer. I can do this. So then I'll hold it like that. I'm making sure that I've got enough room to put the best wishes. Give a little wiggle like that. Perfect. Right? So that's in place. And then when I take this away, there, wunderbar. And then I'll put my stamp back. When you're using stamps, this many stamps like this, it's quite a good idea just to use the carrier sheet to always put them back, especially when you're doing something like this where you're getting loads of stamps out of the cupboard, right? So thinking of you, we'll use a little ink pad. There we go, rinky dink. So nice to use a stamp pad that's not there. Doesn't that look pretty? There you go. Thinking of you. It's nice to use an ink pad that's not got a dent in the middle. It happens to all of them when they get old. Right, so there's that one. Now let's work our way around. That one there, we've got... Are you doing this with me? Right, here's what I'm going to do now. I want to... Let's try something else. I did this and it was too late then. But I thought, I know what I could have done. Let's go there like that, right? Let's go there like that. Now, I wonder if this is how we used to do this. This is how we used to do this grid work when we used to make these grid cards. They used to take forever, right? Go like that. And then we'll stamp that in there, like so. And then we'll fill, but you've got to fill from the inside out, you see. If you can't fill it from the outside in, really, this is the best way to go. So if you want to stay in the area, you've just got to mask off like this. Oh, it'd be quite nice. I'll tell you what I was going to tell you. Yesterday, because it was my birthday, we had a day. So Grace and I went into Tunbridge Wells before I had to go to the hospital. We had a really nice little wander through Tunbridge Wells. And then we hooked up with Dave and we went to Wagamama's we like Wagamama's. So we had a cheeky Waggers in Tunbridge Wells. And then, Lacey, so now I'm moving this out of the way. Do you get it? And now I've got my... I'll show you. There. So now I've filled that up. Look, I'll show you up close. I filled it up, but I've gone nowhere near the... Hang on. Focus. Come back out again, Gray. It's gone all... There you go, and then I'll come back in. See how I'm staying within the lines? Just saying, that's the way to do it. Right, so, and then we'll take the same one, since we've got it mounted, and I'll just pop that in there like so. Doesn't take long, this. Right, that'll do. Yeah, so then we went to Wagamama's. That was lovely. I like Wagamama's. Healthy, 600 calories. What am I saying? Right, now, Daisy. And then, so I think this daisy's too big for that job. So I'm going to use a single daisy. And then we went to the cinema. I thought, for my birthday, I'd really like to go to the cinema. So we went to see it's a brilliant film. And it's called Wicked Little Letters. I don't know if you've seen it, with Olivia Colman and Timothy Spall. Cool. Have you seen it? It is really, really brilliant. But the language is quite fruity, right? I've got a potty mouth anyway, so it didn't. I thought it was funny. To me, you know, swearing is just part of language. But if you've seen it, it's brilliant. There you go. Helen Stevens, I've seen that brilliant film. It really is. I mean, the language is quite colourful. You know, if you don't like swearing, then that film is not for you. It is not. But it's so powerful because it comes from such a dark place. It's very good. Very, very good. Spoiler alert. All I'm saying is, if you don't like swearing, then don't go and watch that film. If it doesn't bother you, if you really... I mean, the acting is just fantastic, isn't it? Here we go. So I'm going to take that one now. This one. You pick any one you fancy. All we're doing is filling these little... Oh, and you know what's great about this? This kind of grid idea that we've got going on here. You could do this with any of the 5 dies that are coming, and any of the, you know, this is the whole idea, is what we're doing here. This is such a neat, lovely way to go. And it really shows off the stamps, and it's really arty, but it's not difficult. That's the thing. Let's do this rose with a leaf. Let's have a look. I think I'm just going to pop her in there. It looks really arty, and it's very easy. Look, so this is very nice indeed. And then we're going to use our pencils again. So let's use that. That was the one that Andy used. That's little single that's running across there like that. So we can use them going in different directions as well, can't we? I think here I need some masking tape. Let's take a piece of masking tape, like so. And then we'll pop that in there, like so. And then I'll turn it around and I'll pop another couple of flowers in, like so. Nice. That'll do. There you go, that's that done. And then the last bit is round here. So those leaves are nice. Let's have a look. Oh, hang on a minute. Let's put my rose back, my little bird. Yeah, great film anyway. We were laughing out loud in the cinema. Really. It's like, whoa. And, you know, it's not for the faint-hearted, put it that way. But it's good. Right, there we go. And it's a true story. That's the best bit. It's like, really? Wow. I love a true story, don't you? I do. I love a true story. So it's got a bit of historical gravitas. That's a good word. Right. So pop that on there like so. We've done all our stamping. Nice, eh? So we've done all our stamping. So we can put the lid on there. How many of us still left? 160 of us. Well, I'll be. There can't be, there's nothing on the box then, eh? Now, what we're going to do, let's check this out. So now we're going to see if we can find the embed, see what we've got. It's coming a bit tighter on this though. And let's have a look. And what we want to do is we need the brushes. So let's have a look. I'm going to use, I've got my brushes ready to go. And I brought a couple of ink pads in. These are the ones that Sarah used, according to the back of her card. So I thought, right, okay, we'll do that. We can do this. So this is using tea dye, which makes sense. So we'll do a bit of tea dye. Don't want to make it too dark. You can always add it, but you can't take it away. Exactly. Can't take it away. So let's do it in layers. Let's add it gradually, shall we? There's a bit of paper, that'll do. All right. So we'll get rid of some of the excess and then we'll see what happens when we dust over the top. Let's see if we can bring out those. So I'm going to go over with a, yeah, brilliant this is. You watch. Don't want to go too dark though. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can go as dark as you like. Look, Sarah went for it. She did light in the middle and then she went with what did you use, Sarah? I went with, yeah, I actually followed your instructions. Tea dye and then walnut stain. There you go. So what I did was, instead of going tea dye and walnut stain, which will give you this, I went tea dye and milled lavender, which will give you that. See? Nice, different. Okay. I just thought I'd go a little bit pink on the flowers rather than. Right. So we do a little bit of tea dye first, which is nice and neutral. Keep it going. Right. And I'll show you when you get, got to leave a little bit of a gap though for the. Now let's see if we go into this camera. Let's see if you can see the texture. Oh yeah. See the scratchiness? That's what we're after. Okay. See the scratchiness, that grungy, dirty look. I mean, it's not dirty. It's like it's really lovely, distressed or aged. So let's take the milled lavender and see what we can do if we add a bit of milled lavender. Like this colour. Like this colour. Tell you who uses this a lot. Deb McMullin. Don't you, Deb? If she's around. There you go. It's a really lovely sort of. Well, it is what it says. It's a milled. It's lavender. Right, so what I'm doing now is I'm going over the tea dye with the lavender. Let's see what we've got. And you'll see the colours. Oh, it's so nice. And now how much you add is up to you. And whether you colour in with the pencils before or after is up to you. right? But what's really, 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 really great, right, is this texture. See, I love that. Very nice. And it comes from the old tired plates, which we usually discard or don't use anymore because we don't. You just got to remember the sequence. Don't point the cutting edges at the magnet at any, it doesn't matter if you put a card between it or whatever. I'm telling you, it will find the magnet. It won't do it any favors. So you use an alternative paper card, something else, because the magnet isn't holding anything in place for you. All it's doing is offering you a thickness. So just find an alternative. That's it. It's that easy. Okay. So now let's have a look. Isn't this nice, right? Lovely. Okay, so we've done that. We've got the brushes, and then we're going back into our colours, and we're going to use pink. I love the pink. That lilac is lovely. What else we got? You could go. What colour is that? That's a black. So that's an aqua pencil. That's a B pencil. What else we got? Oh, a nice green. So I like that. Oh, I love that olive green. I like that one as well. There you go. That'll do. Those three. So we're using the pink watercolor pencil for the lilies. Yeah, that's lovely. Let's have a look. And then we're just going to add. There you go. See? And you can. It's really easy. You just got to kind of look what's a leaf, look what's a flower. There you go. And then just start colouring in your lilies. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. That's the trick. Just keep an eye on what's a leaf and what's a lily. What's a leaf and what's a lily? Hey? What's a leaf and what's a lily? Where are we going to put the pink? You want it to be a little bit darker, then either add another layer or press a little bit harder. Or we're going to put some pink in there. There you go. And because we've distressed it and we've kind of given it that shabby look, which we like. Well, I like. Right. So you see, you feel roses are pink. Got a lovely, mind you, I've got some fantastic flowers in the house. Yellow roses, lovely. Beautiful. There you go. Just add a bit of pink there. Got a little bit of pink there. Pink is definitely the name of the game on this one. Got a bit of pink there. We've got a leaf going there. Now this one, let's just do a little bit of a cover of pink like that. So because we're using a permanent ink pad as well, because we used a waterproof ink pad here, if you did want to put water on this, not that you would, but it's not going to move. They're not going anywhere. These flowers are staying exactly where they are. So here we could add a little bit of pink and a little bit of that light. Since they're bluebells, let's go in with that lilac and add another flash of colour. Right, there you go. So we can add a little bit of blue to that as well. And while we're doing that, why don't we add a little bit of blue to these ones as well? So now we've got a lilac and a kind of a lavender and a pink. That's nice. I'll just do a bit of lilac in there. A little bit of, that's it. A little flash of that colour in there. Maybe a little tiny bit of shading with the lilac. Don't worry about it. It's not, you haven't got to overcook it. You don't need much, just a little bit. Right, and then it's time for the leaves. Right, here we go. So there are two really nice greens. Well, there are several nice greens in the pergoliners. I really like this olive colour. It's nice. It's nice. Right, see? Looks good with that sepia as well. There you go. But what's lovely is this, what I really like is the grunginess. I don't know if it's picking up on the screen, but it's very, very nice to use. It just looks good. And when you go over it with the pencils, that further enhances that look. There you go. So let's do a little bit of lilac on the lilies just to get some shading going. That's it. Nice. Just on the insides of the lilies. That's all you need. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. That'll do. Okay. Once you've got your lilies in, now it's up to you now. Do we want to go a little bit more lilac? Let's get that milled lavender going from the inside out. Right. Maybe you want to add a little bit more tea stain around the outside. Thing is, when you're doing this, and I'm sure Sarah will concur with me on this, you probably want to get your shading down as much as you want to do it before you put your black around the edge. Yeah, so that's the front and that's the back. So there's one that we did earlier. Now it's a choices thing now. Do you want to just go like that? Because that looks pretty blinking cool, right? Or do you want to do Sarah's trick? Well, I like both, but I'm going to say I'll use that one the way as it comes, and this one we're going to, in the name of art, we're going to do the Sarah trick with this one. Okay. Enter. I use Perga glue. Sarah, what did you use? Let's see what she said on the back. Glue. Oh, you just said glue the black. Right. Glue the black die cut over the top and trim the ends to the shape. Okay. Well, here we go. We'll use this one. And I'm going to go with the, I'm going with the Perga glue. Okay, let me get my eye in on my scrap, right? Because what we're going to do is squeeze and drag. Squeeze and drag. Let's get it going first. Squeeze and drag. Come on, Barbara. It worked before. Just a minute. Can you use a quickie glue pen? Yes. But I want to try this because I think it's a bit more permanent. Right, you ready? Here we go. And we don't want to make it too much, because if you do too much, then it's just going to be a holy mess, isn't it? It's just going to end up being a blinking mayo sandwich, right? I reckon this will be good enough. Let's have a look. A little bit. Yeah, this is fine. Right, Perga glue. Are we cool with the Perga glue? I reckon this is all you need. Don't you? In the name of experimenting, right, let's do this. Right, I'm going to do Perga glue, because you're probably, at this point, you're just watching, aren't you? You're drinking your wine and you're thinking, I bet she wishes she tried this before. Right, so there you go. That's the Perga glue on that side, right? And in the name of R&D, let me just grab one of my little, let's see if this works. Okay, because we sell these as well. Quickie glue pens, right? So we'll try both and then I'll tell you which one I think works better. I'll take the little snot off. That's it. Right, and then this one is a quickie glue pen. So we'll go down because it's definitely not as gloopy, right? But I bet it doesn't stick as well either. There. So we'll do that one like that. And then now a little bit of both. I'm going to mix it up a bit. I feel that right, so that's the quickie glue pen on this side. Right, just remember where the buds are, right, there. That's where we used that, okay? And the rest of it we used the Perga glue, right? So now on the front, when you're ready, and then we'll lay that down like so. That'll do, like so, like so. Like that. And it sticks. Now let's see. Yeah. See? Told you. Maybe it just takes a little bit longer. But I'd like to think that the Perga glue sticks better. But, you know, I stand corrected. Then, when we've done that, it certainly squelches better. Right. Then we're going to do what Sarah suggested, and we're just going to trim it to the shape of the, like that. It's good, isn't it? That was a little bit of a, whatever that is there. Not using that bit. Like so. Are you impressed yet? Right, hang on. Like that. Like that, like that, like that. There we are. See? And then when you put that on there, that's how you get your optical illusion. Isn't that wunderbar? So then we're going to take this, because we can, and our, so yeah, well, we could use our, I'm going to go with a dry tape runner on this one, right? So then we'll stick this down like so, just because. You could use the quickie glue pen. You could use Perga glue, but I would say this will probably hold it in place better, personally. Right, there you go, like that. Get rid of all this. Go like that. Take this. Right, you ready? Thank you, Sarah, for the inspiration. I love it. I'm trying to make this one stand straight so that it looks like a flower. Like that, like that. Press that into place. There you go. Quickie glue sticks just as well as a Perga glue. Thank you, Sarah, for the inspiration. Absolutely marvellous. Ken Kilminster wants to know if he will be shocked by the film. Ken, I would say you won't be shocked. Anita, she will be shocked, but you will not be shocked. I've known you for, what, 25 years, 30 years? No, I think you've seen it all, done it all, been it all. I don't think you'll be shocked, Ken. Okay? Well, maybe the last bit. Anyway, so there you go. Aren't they lovely? Isn't that gorgeous? I think so too. And whether you use it without or with, I think it's a smashing technique. And I want to thank you for joining me. We've been together for nearly 2 hours, but it's been a great craft along. And Gracie, thank you so much. I'm going to go and find my dear old husband now with his dodgy knee. Yeah, I'm taking a week off next week, and I'm sure you understand why. And thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, the discount code is Barb25. I wish I was, but I didn't think Barb65 was really. So it's Barb25 because it's 25% discount code. Okay, on all purchases over 30 quid. And you get free postage anyway over 30 quid. And we've got I asked Jazz to, because you know we've been going down to Brighton to do our mono printing, and she's made up some beautiful postcards. So I said, put a happy birthday postcard in as a little prezi as well. So all the orders with a discount code will be getting these lovely happy birthday postcards in as well. So there you go. We try to keep you company. We try to put a smile on your face. Thanks very much for joining me. And I shall see you on the 25th of this month. 25th, Monday, 10 o'clock, E for elephant. Okay? Go easy. Grace, thanks for your help. And somewhere here, I've got my what's it called? Mouse. M for mouse. Have a lovely evening. And yeah. go make something lovely for someone. You know, it's the way forward. Just, yeah, just get out of your head and get with your hands and make something lovely for somebody else. Because it really is something, it's a gift of time, you know, it's your time and it's your energy. It's really great, you know. I get it when I make pottery. So, yeah, go on. There's a lot more to crafting. It's knitting, it's quilting, it's felting, it's embroidery, it's pottery, it's lino cutting, it's card making, you know. And the list goes on. But it's when you make for somebody else, that's when you really, really, I feel you get something much deeper out of it. Anyway, gotta go. Lots of love.